my name is Michaela. Welcome to my channel. I'm currently 38 weeks pregnant with my fourth baby, and I did not think that I was going to make it this far. I just wanted to do a general update in this video. If you watched my last vlog, then you saw my stupid labor scare type thing that happened. I really was convinced that my water had broke, and it did not. So I didn't pee myself, thankfully, though, because that might have been a little bit more embarrassing. But my water has not broken yet. I have still been having a lot of prodromal labor, though, so I've been having contractions every day since the beginning of this week, and I had contractions previously every day, but these ones are different, where they're consistent for about an hour or two, sometimes 3 hours, where I have contractions that are like about 10 minutes apart, 10 to 15 minutes apart. Sometimes they randomly get like 2 minutes apart, and then I feel like I'm about to have a baby, and then they stop. So I have been very exhausted because of it. My mom did come over during my water breaking scare thing that had happened, and she helped us inside the house a little bit. She helped when I ended up having to go to the hospital, and so I'm very thankful that I had some help for that day and a half or so. And yeah, but now I have been just trying to catch up, keeping everything clean inside of my house, and I have been so exhausted. Prodromal labor is a very exhausting thing for your body, especially when you have it for hours and hours on end, because it really feels like you are in labor for just ever. It just doesn't stop, and it has been especially worse at nighttime as well. So I try to lay down in bed, and I really just can't fall asleep because I'm just having a lot of contractions. I end up having to move into different positions, get out of bed. It's a lot of pressure on my bladder, and so I end up having to go pee every 30 minutes, and it has just been a very exhausting thing the last few days. But I'm finally 38 weeks. I had my first baby at 38 plus 4, and so I am a few days away from the earliest that I've ever gone into labor before. Now, I did get cervical checks done. I got 2 different cervical checks done. One when I originally thought that my water had broken, and then another the next day, and I was 3 centimeters and about 50% effaced, but my cervix is still very high and posterior. If you were to think of the baby's head inside of me, my cervix is this way, so under, more towards my butt, I guess, and under the baby's head. So it's back here, and it's high above the baby's head. So the baby is actually in front of my cervix and lower than my cervix by a good deal. When they were doing my cervical checks, they were really digging in there, and 2 different midwives had done my cervical checks from the 2 different times, and it turned out the same every time that they had done it. But man, they were really having a difficult time reaching my cervix. It was they were pushing as hard as they could to get to the point where they could actually feel it. So my cervix is very high, and the baby is just not very well. The baby's very low in my pelvis, but the positioning of the baby itself is more sunny side up. It's kind of hard to actually get to the point of pushing when the baby is under your cervix, so that's what's been going on so far, though. Those are the 2 main changes, is my contractions, and that was the first time that I had my cervix checked, though, this pregnancy. And it's a pretty normal, though. I'm expecting myself to go into labor at any time just because the way that my body feels, not because of what my cervix looks like, because I always have my cervix dilated to at least a 3 for like several weeks before I end up going into labor. It doesn't really determine like when I end up going into labor. It might be why my bag of waters always breaks first though, because I don't know, maybe my bag of waters bulges more and then it just always ends up breaking first. But I don't know if it'll break first this time, and if it does break first again, I'm really gonna be second guessing it until I have like really hard continuous contractions that are close together, just because I was so convinced. It was very convincing to be on my 4th baby. I know exactly what it feels like to have my water break, especially my water breaking first, and I was very convinced. So we will see though. Overall though, everything else in my pregnancy has typically been the same. Now I did mention that I was starting to leak colostrum at my last check-in that I did with you guys, and I did some pumping to try to like stimulate contractions after I had thought that my water had broken. That was recommended to me by my midwife, and I had used some like black cohosh. And when I was pumping, I pumped several times that day, and I got about like, I don't know, it was like 7 milliliters of colostrum out, which is a good amount, like for, you know, like maybe like 4 pumping sessions or so, not including all the, it gets very stuck on the bottles themselves if you're using a breast pump, just because it's just so thick. But I was able to get a good amount of colostrum out. I think that that's really great for not even having a baby yet, totally not even required to even have colostrum by this point, but I did end up saving it just for whatever reason. If there's some sort of an emergency with myself after birth and I'm not able to feed the baby right away, then I have like more than enough, because it's like 7 milliliters, and that's like plenty for a newborn baby once they're first born. So that's I guess a positive thing. I haven't pumped since then, but I've been thinking about it just to maybe encourage my prodromal labor to like kick into actual labor, but I'm not too sure. I really want my body to be ready once I do go into labor. I'm hoping, I've never like induced my labors at all, like self-induced, except for when I had my membrane stripped with my first baby, and I never actually done anything to like try to get labor going though, because I really wanted to make sure that the baby was ready, because I was hoping that it would create like a shorter labor time. But that has never been the case, so I'm not even sure if it really matters at this point if I'm trying to do things to encourage labor or not. I think I might end up having just as long of labors, if not even longer. I don't even know. So so I haven't pumped anymore. I have been thinking about it though. If I do start pumping, I'll let you guys know, like inside the vlogs, that I do as many vlogs though, just because I have been so tired. And I had like that labor scare that had happened. It was like over like a 2-day period, which was the normal time when I would have vlogged, but I ended up doing like that vlog combined instead. So I'm not exactly sure how many vlogs I'll be doing for the rest of the week, if I will at all. I do want to film my what's in my hospital bag video, and my birthing center bag video, and what's in the baby's diaper bag, like as soon as possible, because I really want those to be done, and I think that they'll be really helpful and beneficial for new moms, or just moms in general. I still watch those types of videos even though I've had several kids. and I want those videos to be done before I actually go into labor. So I think those are going to be the types of videos that I'm putting out this week. So I might not be doing as many vlogs, but if I end up going into labor, I will be doing not only like a vlog of my labor, but I will be doing, you know, like the pretty like overview where you get to like see the labor happen with like fancy music and stuff. I'll probably be doing one of those as well. So I'll probably be doing both of those, just like to show the baby's birth, and then one of them where I'm like actually updating and telling you guys what's going on during my labor itself. But that is really all that I have to update. It's a pretty short update. At this point, I really just feel like I'm gonna go into labor, and I really am just so ready for it too. Like, I'm just ready to hold my baby by this point, and I'm just so exhausted of this pregnancy. So I know baby will come when he's ready, and I want baby to come when he's healthy and everything. So I'm just trying to be as patient as possible. But at the same time, I am kind of questioning if I want to like try to kick things into gear. I would never use like castor oil or anything like that, just because I have heard of like the risks of baby passing meconium. I haven't really seen personal stories of that happening, but yeah, so I have used evening primrose oil in the past though, and extra strength red raspberry leaf tea and whatnot. So those things I might be giving a try soon though. I did buy some dates, because dates are, yeah, I really love dates in general, like medjool dates. They're really good, and I normally eat them regularly, but for some reason I hadn't bought them the last like, I don't know, like 2 months or something, which probably would have been good if I would have, but they just weren't sounding that great. But I bought some dates because they were sounding really good, and those are supposed to help soften your cervix as well. So I'm gonna be starting to eat some dates as well. I'm not gonna like force myself to eat like a certain amount a day or anything like that, just however many I want, which could be the whole container, who knows, because they're just so freaking delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my bump before I wrap things up. Now I'm wearing a dress, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it on. So here is what my tummy looks like. Very big. But that's all with this update, you guys. Sorry that it was so short. Go ahead and watch that labor scare, I don't know if my water broke vlog type thing, if you guys want to go ahead and check that out. It'll probably just be up in the corner of the screen if you want to go ahead and click on that. Well, I don't know what side, one of the sides it'll pop up. And then of course I'll have my other pregnancy update videos as well at the end of the video if you are interested in watching those, or my last pregnancy update. But I will talk to you guys later though. Bye.